Hello everyone! Thanks for joining today. I'm going to talk to you about Pokemon Unite's recent Boss Rush Extreme featuring Araquanid, Registeel, and Zacian. And after watching the video, hopefully you will be able to beat the next Boss Rush Extreme. The final Boss Rush event featuring Zacian will kick off on Monday, March 27th. So if you haven't beat Zacian yet, you have one more chance. I'll start by showing you 5 do's and 5 don'ts for the Boss Rush Extreme. After that, I'll show you my video of how our team found success. If you haven't beaten the Boss Rush on Extreme difficulty yet, there are a few things you can do to make sure your team wins. Do your research. The most important thing that you and your team can do is to choose the correct Pokemon. Just one mistake, just one, could doom your team to failure. 2 mistakes, and you probably won't make it past the second boss. To help yourself, check the battle data after each challenge. If one of your teammates had over 200,000 points in damage, that Pokemon might be a good choice. Which moves did they use? Which held items are they using? And which battle item did they choose? You can learn a lot from your teammates. The next thing you can do, you can check Reddit forums. There are plenty of websites out there. A lot of YouTubers will make tier lists for which Pokemon are the best and which ones you should avoid. Use all of your options, you will get great advice. For the recent Boss Rush challenge that included Araquanid, Registeel, and Zacian, you needed a tank. And really, not any tank. You needed Slowbro. You see, the tank will take the boss's focus away from the other Pokemon, freeing them up to just spam attacks. So use a tank. For me, I found the most success with these 3 Pokemon: Espeon, Garchomp, and Eldegoss. When my teammates were decent, I would consistently get over 200,000 damage with Espeon and Garchomp. It is essential to have at least 2 members on your team dealing over 200,000 damage. In our team's win, the total damage was 777,466. That's a lot of damage. Unless you are a healer or a tank, you have to be doing over 100,000 damage. Even though my team didn't use one, a supporter like Eldegoss can be super helpful by providing healing or shields for the whole team. In addition, Eldegoss can easily do over 50,000 damage, so it's not ineffective on offense. Its real benefit is helping your team avoid that 15-second respawn timer. The more time you're alive and attacking, the more damage you'll do. Now, these were just the 3 Pokemon that worked for me, but Glaceon and Sylveon are also highly recommended. The key seemed to be to have ranged special attackers with short cooldowns. Because your team's Pokemon make or break the chances of success, if you are playing solo queue like I usually do, you should probably choose your Pokemon last. When you go last, you can choose the best Pokemon to support your team and fill in a missing role if there is one. Choose the correct attack moves, held items, and battle item. I know that seems pretty obvious, but pay attention to the battle data when you lose. If you weren't doing much damage, try a different move next time. And if your team doesn't have at least 2 Fluffy Tails, you should probably use it. The Fluffy Tails will boost your damage for a short time, and they're essential for any team. The more you have, the better. Learn from your mistakes. If you're stuck on a team that play about as well as bots, use that time to learn as much as you can about the bosses and the arena. Don't just give up and quit, because then you'll be losing valuable experience that might be the key to winning your next boss rush. Fight until the end. You might think it's hopeless, but in our win, Zacian still had 54% of its health with only 1 minute to go. And because I play solo queue so much, I've seen so many people try to quit, throw in the towel, give up, because things are not going as well as they had hoped. Bottom line, you cannot win if a player quits. Don't do that. Please don't do that. You might just win like we did. If you are not ready to play extreme difficulty, please don't. Don't do it. I'm not trying to be mean or rude, but like I said earlier, one poor choice or one Pokemon played poorly will almost certainly doom the team. Often, the battle is over before it even begins. It's not a complete waste of time. We can still learn a lot, but you won't be making any new friends. Don't choose your favorite unless it's one of the recommended Pokemon. If you're playing solo queue, you should go in with about 3 Pokemon that you could use to support your team. For example, if I could, I would always play with Espeon. For me, it's just my best Pokemon for the boss rush. However, if I choose Espeon first, that might lead somebody else who wanted to be Espeon to choose like Charizard or Talonflame. Now, those Pokemon might be okay for the boss challenge, but in my experience, they were usually the weakest members on the team. If your Pokemon is only doing as much damage as a supporter or a tank, you need to choose a different Pokemon. Don't choose your favorite one, choose a good one. Don't play a new Pokemon for the first time on the extreme difficulty. If you don't know how to play the Pokemon, try it out on casual first, then intermediate. Better yet, start off in practice until you know how to use that Pokemon. There is a huge level gap between intermediate and extreme. I would think most people could beat intermediate on their first few tries, but not extreme. When fighting Zacian, don't pick up the shield if you don't know how to use it. And I know, a couple of times I found myself standing in the spot where the shield spawns, and of course, most of our team died. If your team has the potential to win, there is certainly someone on your team who is better at using the shield than you are. So watch and learn. Don't quit. Don't do it. Even if you haven't reached Zacian within the final 2 minutes, you can learn so much from the battle. Stay in the game. If you quit, your team can't learn very much because they don't know how to work together in the last few minutes. Figure out, why is your team struggling? Look for the signals that the bosses give before each attack. Learn how to use that stupid shield. Find out which Pokemon are dealing the most stun damage or most attack damage. Figure out which Pokemon are attacked after the tank dies. All of these things will help you. Before I show you how my team won, now would be a great time to remind you, if you are enjoying the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any advice or any comments, especially next week for the next boss rush, go ahead and leave a comment. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's see how my team found success. Okay, so as you can see, we have Gardevoir. Oh, I was going to say Juniper, the Japanese name, but that's Decidueye. Azumarill, Slowbro, and I'm Espeon. And you can see the items that we're using. I like that new setup. Okay, these are our 3 bosses that we're facing. Araquanid, Registeel, and Zacian. And here we go. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to lock in my moves and go straight into attack. And as you notice, besides shooting out the spiders, the boss goes right after Slowbro. So we can just attack. Now, it does help to take out the rest. Now, Gardevoir just got smashed, so be careful with the water attack. Slowbro can be right up in the action. He can tank almost any attack, and he heals himself. There I go, it takes off quite a bit of damage. That's why I had the heal. And I'm going with Psyshock immediately. And once you have Psyshock, you can just spam it as much as you can. Oh, I got stuck there in the spider web. So I'm almost dead. Do I die here? I can't remember. Oh yeah. Okay, so I die early. You want to avoid that as much as possible. And I'm going to go with Future Sight. So Future Sight is great because if you use it and then you hit with Psyshock, your Future Sight, the cooldown is reduced. So when I have both of these, I can just basically spam those attacks. You'll notice sometimes I have to use a regular attack, but it's pretty quick. And I think it gets faster when I level up. We'll see. I've been free for nearly 30 seconds and just attack after attack after attack. So this is another example about why having a tank is so important on your team. Slowbro is just there taking all of the attacks and I'm free to attack. Okay, and then as soon as you see, once a boss gets stunned, you really want to just jump in and attack. Because that means they're weaker and you do more damage. Okay, watch out for the balls, they're bouncing all over the place, but usually if you hide behind one of these spikes, you can avoid the balls, and if Registeel focuses on you during the roll attack, you'll be safe. So you want to stay behind those spikes as much as possible, if Registeel is close to the spikes. Alright, we're doing quite a bit of damage, only Azmoreel's missing. Okay, and down. So we're already down to Zacian with 236 remaining, which, as you're well aware of, this will be enough time to defeat Zacian. I have seen other teams just smoke Zacian so quickly. So if you can, I recommend playing on a team, like a Unite team. Solo queue is not the ideal way to go. It's really tough to get a great team together. Like I said in the video, I think I lost like between 20 and 50 times before I got on this team. Okay, so he attacks me, but I had that heal. So that for some Pokemon, the heal is useful. But other Pokemon, they can heal themselves with their attacks. So like Garchomp would be really useful in that situation. Alright, so there you go. Azumarill uses the shield. Let's see how he does. And missed. So if you use it correctly, nobody will be damaged during that shot. If you notice, I've only died once so far. But again, the more you're out on the field, in the arena, the more damage you do. So stay as healthy as you can. I went and got this health right now. Okay, we're down to the last minute. Like I said, 54% health remaining. I really didn't think we were going to win at that moment. So right here, Zacian's confused. And the damage just took off. And then I got my hopes up, which you never want to get your hopes up. Okay, so here's that blade. Let's see. I think he uses it correctly this time. Yeah, so, oh no, we all got injured. So if you have a healer, that's a good way. You can shield with Eldegoss, and then after the attack, you could heal if everyone got hit. 20 seconds left. I had my hopes up. Oh, but then you'll see what happens next. Oh no, I died right there, and I thought, oh no, we're gonna lose with like 1% left. And Gardevoir died. But we did it somehow. It was so amazing. Woo. It's even stressful watching it. Okay, so you see, that wasn't my fastest time for the first two bosses. So that means I could have beat it before. Okay, I don't know if the ranking is the same, but if it is, then I guess I was first. So I had to give everyone a thumbs up. Thank you for your help. That was my win with 8 hours to go. And there you go. I had 261,356 damage. And as I said, we had about 777,000 466 damage. I wonder if it's actually like 500 with like the percentage only goes to 0.6, so that might be the reason. But yeah, that's a lot of damage to get. We did it. You can see my moves. You can see other people's moves here if that helps you. You can see the items we used. I guess we probably should have had one more fluffy tail, but we still were able to pull it off. So if you notice, Gardevoir did an amazing job, over 200,000 damage. Decidueye also pretty honorable, but you know, if Decidueye was Sylveon or even Glaceon, which is I've heard the best, this battle might have been a lot easier. Same with Azumarill, not bad, but you hope to get over 100,000. Now it could be that after Slowbro was killed, maybe the next attack was Azumarill. So if you're next in line, you're probably going to do less damage. On the other hand, as Espeon, often I'll die 3, 4, 5 times in a battle, and I'm still getting over 200,000 damage. So even dying, you should be able to get well over 100,000 to help your team. So beating the boss rush on extreme difficulty is possible, even for a mediocre player like myself playing solo queue. I would guess I lost at least 20 times, if not 50 times. I don't know how many times I started a match and knew it would be over before it started. And it looked like a lost cause. There were only about 8 hours remaining in the event when we finally won. And as you witnessed, just barely. It was, whoa, it's so close. If you haven't beat Zacian yet, you have your final chance from Monday, March 27th through Sunday, April 2nd. I don't know if the same Pokemon will be the most effective. I don't know who the bosses will be, but just like the rest of us, you'll have 1 week to learn and give it a try. If I can do it, you can too. I'll see you out there and good luck. Bye.